Happy Friday. It's First Chapter Friday again. Happy Friday. So today's book is the first in a series, and it's a new series I'd never heard of before. But I want to talk a little bit before I read the book about how to pick a book. So you might say as a fifth grader, I'm going to read fifth grade books. Okay. Well, do you know what kind of books I'd recommend for a fifth grader? Whatever you want to read. You know what books I'd recommend for a fourth grader? Whatever you want to read. You know what books are good for third graders? Whatever you want to read. All of them. Because I'll give you a secret. Adults don't read all adult things all the time. Like, if they did, I would never have a First Chapter Friday for you. Because I find these books because I read them. I read children's books a lot. I also read magazines. I'm not always reading a thick adult book, right? I pick up a magazine. I consider it like candy for my brain. So my First Chapter Friday book, you might say, that looks so, I don't need to read that. That might be for someone younger than me. And maybe when it was published, they meant that, but that doesn't mean it's not a good book. And it doesn't mean that you wouldn't enjoy it if you're interested in it, right? So you might want to pick up a picture book that a brother or sister is reading at home. By the way, this one's really funny. So that would be candy for your mind too. And just so you know, picture books are not baby books. I'll tell you that too. Picture books are almost all written at least at a third grade level, if not higher. Most of the vocabulary is higher in a picture book than some of the novels that you might be reading. Now, that doesn't mean that you can say to your teachers, Mrs. B said, I only read what I want to read. I'm sorry, I can't read that book you have. Don't do that. I'm going to find you. No, if your teacher is having you work with them on a book, that's different. That's our job as teachers, is to introduce you to different types of books, push you to be better readers so that you can choose whatever book you want to read. So that doesn't mean, I don't feel like reading this article today because Mrs. B said I only read what I want. I'm not saying that. Don't even think about it. So today's First Chapter Friday is called Jeanie and Genie, the First Wish. Again, just heard of it, I think, over the weekend, and the book came last night, and I just have to tell you all about it. So here we go. Jeanie Bell adores her nice, normal life. It's the perfect kind where nothing unexpected ever happens. Willow Davis also loves things that are nice and normal because nice, normal things are always ready for a little magic. And once Jeanie meets Willow, their lives will never, ever be normal again. So, a story about friendship. So, the chapter titles are really funny. Weird Wednesday, Willow's First Day, Making Friends, Grand Tour, Game Time, Rain, Rain, Go Away, Willow's Big Secret, What Ifs, Magic Charm, and Practice Makes Almost Perfect. I like that the font is different here between the chapter titles and the chapter numbers. Chapter 1, Weird Wednesday. Wednesdays in Jeanie Bell's second grade classroom were predictable, and that's just how Jeanie Bell liked them. Ms. Patel always started the day with journal writing. In her journal, Jeanie had written about the new trick her dog Bear had learned at breakfast this morning. She'd done her science work ahead of time. Labeling plant parts was easy peasy. But Jeanie couldn't work ahead in gym. Luckily, on Wednesdays, the class did yoga. Tree pose was perfect for resting, but also for practicing the spelling bee. Plus, yoga meant she didn't have to worry about fending off the Lee triplets in dodgeball. At lunch, Jeanie ate while she read a few chapters of the book she'd chosen for independent reading. She didn't want to lose her lead in Miss Patel's reading challenge. All in all, it was a totally normal Wednesday. But when Jeanie returned to room 2B after lunch, something unpredictable and not normal was happening. A girl Jeanie didn't recognize stood at the front of the class. Miss Patel clapped her hands twice to get everyone's attention. You might have heard that before, right? Okay. Class, this is Willow Davis, she said. Today is her first day at Rivertown Elementary. Jeanie wouldn't want to be the new kid in class. She hated being the center of attention. But this girl didn't seem to mind the attention. She wore a big smile and a bracelet with little bells that jingled as she waved to the class. I think I'd like a bracelet like that. Ms. Patel asked Willow to tell everyone about herself. My house has a wishing well, Willow began. I love shooting stars and blowing out birthday candles, and I like to draw, especially ladybugs. That's lovely. And where are you from, Willow? Asked Miss Patel. Willow hesitated. All over, I guess. Miss Patel smiled. You can take the empty seat in the second row, she said. Willow practically floated toward her new desk, which was right behind Jeanie's. Willow tapped Jeanie on the back. What's your name? Jeanie raised her eyebrows. Miss Patel was beginning a math lesson on fractions. Jeanie knew she should be paying attention, but she didn't want to be rude. I'm Jeanie, she replied, then quickly turned back toward the front of the room. Oh. What's your favorite color? Willow asked. Mine's rainbow. It's green, Jeanie whispered. What subject do you like best? Asked Willow. Has this girl never been to school before? Jeanie wondered. Math, murmured Jeanie, hoping Willow would get the hint. Miss Patel was comparing fractions on slices of pie. Each slice was 1/4 of the pie. Jeanie tried to focus, but another pesky question came from over her shoulder. That looks a lot like things I've drawn before as a teacher. Just saying. Do you believe in magic? I do. Willow's eyes sparkled and a dreamy look went over her face. Jeanie did not believe in magic. She believed in paying attention, and facts, and math, and fractions. Willow was friendly, but she was also at least a fraction annoying, and her questions were still coming. What did you wish for on your last birthday? Asked Willow. Jeanie sighed. At that moment, she wished Willow would just stop talking. And then it's called Willow's First Day. So, I thought this was such a fun book to read, and it says number 1 right here, so it's part of a series, and I just happened to hear about it because I do a lot of reading about kids' books, and so someone mentioned it, and I'd never heard of it, and I thought, I'll give it a try, and it's a great book. So, again, pick up books that are interesting to you. Don't worry about whether it's your reading level. Because guess what? No adult pays attention to a reading level. I don't pick up a book and say, is this my reading level? I don't know. Maybe it is and maybe it isn't. I pick something up because it's interesting to read. That's why. So that's your first chapter pick this week, is something that's fun to read. And whether or not you think it's your reading level doesn't matter. If it's interesting to you, it's perfect for you on your next independent reading, not your teacher reading. Don't even try it. I'm watching you all.